It's time for your daily dose of TELPAS, listening and speaking. So I'm going to show you guys something else, something new today. And when you're taking TELPAS speaking, it's part of the listening test too. So sometimes you have to listen to stories and then give a speaking response, as well as respond to listening questions about the story. So that's what we're going to practice today. Here is the speaking question. I want you to go ahead and be thinking about this as you're watching the story. Read the directions. When you're ready to speak, tell as much as you can. You may watch the video again before you speak. Okay, so if you wanted to watch it again, you go click right there and you watch the whole thing. In this video, the author compares red-eyed tree frogs to superheroes. First, describe two characteristics the red-eyed tree frog has that makes this animal similar to a superhero. Next, imagine you are a superhero. So, which of the red-eyed tree frog's special characteristics you would like to have? Explain why you would want to have those characteristics. Okay, so there's two parts. We're going to have to listen for special characteristics that the red-eyed tree frog has, okay, that make it like a superhero. There is one important word I'm not sure that you may or may not know. I just want to make sure that you understand this word. And the word is camouflage. Do you know what camouflage means? Let me show you some pictures of what camouflage means. All right, so here are two pictures that show camouflage. Now these are two frogs, and camouflage, you can see how the frog looks like the branch, okay, here, and the frog looks like the tree. So they can sit right there and do what's called blend into their environment, where they're almost hidden. It's like you can hide because you look like what's behind you or what's near you, okay? So this is camouflage. So that's going to be an important word for us to know as we're listening to the red-eyed tree frog.
It has lime green skin, stripes on its sides, and orange feet. It jumps far, climbs trees, and clings to slippery leaves without falling. It can change color according to its mood, and it has bulging red eyes that scare away predators. Does this sound like a superhero? It's actually a real animal, the remarkable red-eyed tree frog. Red-eyed tree frogs are mainly found in the rainforests of Central America and southern Mexico. These frogs are fairly small. Adults range in length from about 1.5 inches to almost 3 inches, and a full-grown red-eyed tree frog may weigh only half an ounce, about the same as 5 pennies. Like most amphibians, red-eyed tree frogs hatch from eggs. The female red-eyed tree frog lays about 20 to 60 eggs, called a clutch, on a leaf, but not just any leaf. She carefully chooses a leaf that hangs over a source of water, like a pond or even a large puddle. The female produces a sticky substance that helps hold the eggs together on the leaf. It takes about 1 week for tadpoles to develop inside the eggs. When the tadpoles are about to hatch, they start wiggling around rapidly inside the eggs. The eggs burst open and the tadpoles fall into the water below. They spend about 3 weeks to 3 months in the water, gradually metamorphosing or changing into froglets. Eventually, the young froglets are ready to leave the water. They climb up nearby trees where they spend most of their adult lives. Red-eyed tree frogs are not currently an endangered species, but they do have a number of predators. Snakes, spiders, bats, and birds all prey on adult frogs. So how does this small, brilliantly colored creature survive threats from larger animals? First, red-eyed tree frogs are nocturnal. They hunt for their own food, such as moths, crickets, and flies, mostly at night. Some of the red-eyed tree frog's predators, however, are more active during the day. Second, this creature also uses camouflage to elude its predators. During the day, the red-eyed tree frog mainly rests and sleeps. It uses sticky suction cups on its feet to cling to leaves and branches. While resting and sleeping, the red-eyed tree frog remains motionless. Its legs are tucked in close to its body. Its eyes are closed. All the brightly colored parts of the frog are hidden. The green coloring on the frog's back is the only part of the animal that is visible. In this state, the red-eyed tree frog blends in perfectly with the surrounding leaves. Besides camouflage, the red-eyed tree frog has another trick: surprise. This frog knows how and when to hide its colors, but it also knows how and when to use its colors to alarm predators. Suddenly, all the frog's colors are flashing: red eyes, orange feet, blue legs, and blue and yellow sides. Red-eyed tree frogs may be small, but they are surprisingly mighty. Like superheroes in comic books, these animals possess special characteristics that help them survive and thrive.
According to this section, which animal is a predator of the red-eyed tree frog?
Okay, this is very important. When you see that little video clip there, it's asking you to watch this again, or if it says this section, you need to click over here and watch it again.
Red-eyed tree frogs are not currently an endangered species, but they do have a number of predators. Snakes, spiders, bats, and birds all prey on adult frogs.
According to this section, which animal is a predator of the red-eyed tree frog? Spiders, moths, crickets, flies. Spiders.
All right, guys, we're actually going to stop here for today because I think this is enough. I wanted to introduce you to some of your speaking questions are actually going to come from listening from stories because you're going to have to answer some listening questions too. So we practiced doing one listening question. And next time, we're going to come back to the speaking question on the red-eyed tree frog, where we have to talk about two of the characteristics of the red-eyed tree frog that are like a superhero, and then if you could be a superhero, what characteristic, like the red-eyed tree frog has, that you would want to be as a superhero. So that's what we're going to do next time. So you can be thinking about that. But that, guys, is how you have to do a listening question. And sometimes they're long, y'all. That was like a 5-minute story. So you have to really pay attention. And then when you're answering questions, there'll be an opportunity to click and listen to the video again. And it's going to play just the part you need to hear for that question. So those are my tips for the listening. And then we're going to get back to the speaking tomorrow. And that's your daily dose of TELPAS.